Laws for women. There are so many law that has been created so that the woman should also get support and equal status in the society. These laws are not created to create a difference or the partiality between the men or women, but these law has been created so that there should be a certain kind of improvement in the function of the society. The law enacted means created. The law enacted in 1952 recognizes women's right to alimony and their share in the father's property. There are two different laws has been introduced or has been implemented. First one, the woman should get the equal share of the father's property. As we had seen in our tradition, the boys or the males are only liable to get the father's share in the property, but women should also get the equal share in the father's property. And the alimony, what exactly is the alimony? Alimony is a kind of amount that given to the married woman after the divorce by her husband, right? So that she can keep her life in a proper manner. We had a proper definition of alimony on the next page. What it says: alimony, a fixed amount paid to a married woman for her upkeep by the husband who has divorced her, is called alimony. Understood the meaning of alimony, the concept? डाइवोर्स के बाद क्या होता है, हस्बैंड को अपने वाइफ को एक फिक्स्ड अमाउंट पे करना होता है सो दैट शी कैन एबल टू सस्टेन हर लाइफ एंड मैनेज द चाइल्ड और द different needs of the life. Even her right to Sridhan was recognized. Polygamy was made illegal and women just like men got the rights to sue for divorce. There are so many new laws has been implemented related to the marriages, like polygamy made illegal. What do you mean polygamy? Polygamy means multiple marriages, more than one marriages, right? Marriages in our society is not illegal, but multiple marriages are illegal. So in past we had seen that there are so many men who had done multiple marriages. That situation or problems are faced by the women or the wives, so that's why the government made the polygamy as illegal. Even previously only men have the right to divorce the women, but now after the introduction of law, women can also sue for divorce. Sue for divorce means file a case for the divorce, because men and women both have the equal opportunity in the society, so this discrimination cannot be accepted. It was like that. It was a law that took one step forward concerning women's issue over the following decade. The Dowry Prohibition Act, as we all know about the dowry, so there was an act introduced that should protect or that should prohibit the dowry, right? Dowry should not be followed. What a prohibition means to stop. The Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 made both giving and taking of dowry a cognizable criminal offense. What a cognizable? Cognizable, you can say a very serious crime, critical crime. So taking dowry or giving dowry, both are a serious crime. So any person involved in dowry, they should be punished as per the law. This dismantled the dowry tradition by its root and further encouraged the social movement. So this law has been dismantled this society's situation. What a dismantle? Dismantle means destroyed, thrashed. We had seen the dowry tradition has been following from centuries, right? From different periods. So this thing should be stopped. The law alleviated the distress to women. What alleviated? Alleviated means removed. The law alleviated the distress to women caused by the undesirable tradition of dowry. The Maternity Benefit Act, which gave women the right to get leave from work at the time of childbirth, also came into force in 1961. Okay, so this also gave the priority to the women that they should get the leave during the time of pregnancy, the maternity leave. Previously it was 3 months, now it was been 6 months. As we all know, the situation or the condition of women during the time of pregnancy, she need to take care of the child and take of the health of their own. So at that time they need support, right? So government had introduced that women should get their maternity leave from their job the paid leaves. At the time, they also been paid. So awareness against the dowry tradition, as we had seen dowry being a very serious crime in the society, we will see what kind of steps has been taken by the government and what are the consequences of the dowry. Even after the enactment of the anti-dowry law, so even government has introduced a very serious law against the dowry, but still there are so many cases happened where women are killed because of the dowry. Even after the enactment of the dowry anti-dowry law, incidents like women burned to death as sari pallu catches fire while cooking, and woman slips into well while washing clothes, drones and dies. So even after the law or the act has been introduced, but there are so many, you can say, cases arises where women are killed, and reason given that they died by the fire that catches the sari pallu, or even they drown into the well, they slips into the well while washing the clothes. So this created a sense in the society that even today that women are killed for the money. Investigations still reveal dowry to be the most frequent cause of such death. And after the investigations, it has been found that the reason of the death was the dowry. The role of the police, the administration and judiciary were highlighted. And at this time, the role of judiciary or the police highlighted such cases. This created greater awareness. As a result, the Dowry Prohibition Act came into force in 1984. Prohibition Act has been amended. Amended means changes brought and strict law has been done. In 1988, 2,209 women died victim of the dowry tradition. You can see the number. That huge number gives us the seriousness of the society. In 1988, the numbers are 2,209. In 1920, it raised to the 4,835. You can see these are the cases which are registered. Even there are so many cases which are not registered to the government. So seeing this number, you can see the seriousness of the crime. And in 1993, it went to the 5,377. These numbers will impress you upon the seriousness of the issue. Family courts. Government also settled the family courts so that any family issues should be solved in the family courts, which cannot be delayed. Right. Family courts, it has been established in 1984. Family courts were established to resolve conflict arising out of differences within the marriage and domestic problems, as well as issues such as the alimony, single parenthood, separation, care of children, and ownership, which are all related with the family situation. So there are so many family issues happen. So that needs to be stopped in the society, because if any problem happens in family and that needs it is to be delayed, then it will create a very serious issues. These family courts give priority to mutual understanding, and since the family courts are established in the sense that it gives seriousness to the issues and the procedures should be followed quickly, these family courts give priority to mutual understanding over witnesses and evidence and to counselor over the lawyers. Emphasis is on resolving issues quickly but justly. Emphasis means giving more importance. So more importance given to solve the issues in a proper manner and quickly, and justice should be given in a proper manner. Next is trial involving alimony. As we just discussed about the alimony, what is alimony? So there was a court case that happened in the year 1985 by a woman named Shah Bano Begum. This woman belongs to a Muslim community. As we all know, in our country we had an equal law, but Muslim or the Muslim community follows a different law. So this woman, she demanded for the alimony as it was not in the Muslim law. So after this demand, the court proceedings happened and the procedure of alimony also introduced in the Muslim law. A fixed amount. What is alimony? A fixed amount paid to a married woman for her upkeep by the husband who has divorced her. It's called alimony. In the case of Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus means opposite, Shah Bano Begum The Supreme Court gave the verdict meant decision, that Shah Bano Begum had the right to alimony, and government gave the decision in the favor of Shah Bano Begum that she should also get the alimony. However, religious organization protested vociferously against the verdict. Vociferous means strongly. They are not in the favor of such verdict or the decision. As a result, the Muslim Women's Act, called Protection of Rights on Divorce, was passed by Parliament. Okay, so in this way, women got justice, or even the women in the Muslim community also got this justice. The Constitution of Sati, the Commission of Sati. What kind of a new law has been introduced to stop the Sati Act? As we all know, Sati Pratha being the very deep in our society, but year by year, day by day, it has been stopped. Even during the time of Britishers, different laws has been implemented to stop the Sati Pratha. So here we had seen a case of Roop Kanwar, a woman named. She had faced this law or problem of the sati, and government took a very strict action against the society. The Commission of Sati, that is the prevention. On 4th September 1987, Roop Kanwar, a married woman, committed sati. She did not this of her own free will. So a news of sati came in the year 1987 on 4th of September. A woman named Roop Kanwar, she had been forced to follow the sati law, what you can say tradition or sati pratha. She didn't by her own free will. Free will means अपनी खुद की इच्छा से जबरदस्ती कराया गया. Committing sati or glorifying the practice of sati were all illegal. Those who glorify means those who support this act or those who follow this act, these are the illegal. The woman activist and journalist Meena Menon, Geeta Seshu, Sujata Anandan, Anu Joseph and Kalpana Sharma investigated the case. In 1988, the government passed the Sati Act with very stringent provision. What is stringent? Very strictly. So these are the women activists who supported this act. Meena Menon, Geeta Seshu, Sujata Anandan, Anu Joseph and Kalpana Sharma. Now, Protection of Human Rights Act. As we all know, there should be a certain kind of right given to every citizen, or there should be a human right. In every person is happy and they should get justice in a society, then that countries be developed. In 1993, this law was enacted to prevent injustice to man and woman. So this, when we say the human rights is applicable to both the men and women, and they should get an equal status in this society. The National Human Rights Commission was also formed for this purpose. A state level and a national level Human Rights Commission has been formed. What a commission? Commission is a kind of society. In some states, the State Human Rights Commission was also formed on the same line. Same line means on the same way. This law, which deals with collective operation, the social condition of divorced women and secure workplaces. So there are so many conditions has been carried out or learned. The woman's situation after the divorce, or the woman's situation at the work, at the office, at the school, colleges, education, play an effective role in mitigating injustice to the women. Even the reservations of women has been followed, implemented. The 73rd and 74th Amendment of the Constitution, as we all know, our Constitution has been implemented in the year 1950. After that, so many amendments has been done. But the most important amendment done during the 73rd and 74th. At that time, so many changes brought that should be bring in the changes of the women. The 73rd and 74th Amendment to the Constitution provide for reservation of 1/3 of the seats for women in Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Zilla Parishad, municipalities and municipal corporation, as well as for the post of sarpanch, chairman and mayor. These are the different positions in the society that needs to be given to the woman, and also reservations made. In Maharashtra and other 15 states, they reserved 50% seats for women. This provision provides women the opportunity to participate in the business of the community. Right? So, in this way, these states had followed the reservation of 50% for the women in different political or the social fields. If we see in the post-independence period, the Constitution of India accepted the principle of equality of men and women. So in our country, our government has always supported the proper involvement of women in every field, and reservation are also carried out in the same way. Hence, women get the important political right to vote. Women got equal rights to education and work on par with men. On par with men means you can say as compare with the men. In every field, women are also getting equal opportunities in human practices, which are not justable, which are not to be done, like sati, dowry, and polygamy were banned by law. This should be banned in every culture, in every society. Women's right to sue for divorce was recognized. Even women's got the right to sue for divorce. It should be. Why only men? Women should also get the equal right now. They got a lawful share in property. Even as compared to the men, women are also getting the equal share in the property. In local self-government bodies, seats were reserved for women so that they would have their just share of political power. We see today that due to this provision, due to these changes, now women are also living a very comfortable life, and they play a very important role in society. And due to their contribution, there are so many changes happens in the society. We see today that due to these provisions, women had begun to get education and to earn. Also, due to ideas of women liberation, women are developing a sense of self. They have begun to participate enthusiastically and with determination in all fields of education, earning money, administration, politics, etc. In every field now women plays a very important role. So in this way we had learned the changes that brought in the life of the woman. So here we completed our first topic that calls the empowerment of women. Now we will discuss about the changes that brought to the weaker section, that belongs to the basically who face the societal differences, right? So first we have the scheduled caste. What do you mean scheduled caste? In short, we had learned the SC and ST. SC stands for scheduled caste and ST stands for scheduled tribe. After the independence, government had made a list, made a schedule. Schedule means list of those people of those community, those who faced the situation of impartiality, right? So in this way the list has been prepared on the basis of caste, and a list has been prepared on the basis of community. That is called a scheduled tribe and scheduled caste, and those people and those tribes should be given an opportunity to participate in every function of the society. Okay, so scheduled caste. In the post-independence period, our constitution adopted the values of freedom, equality, fraternity. We know the meaning of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Liberty means independence, equality means equalness, and fraternity means brotherhood. In Hindi, we call bhaichara. In accordance with this, the practice of untouchability was banned by law. As we all know, in past there was a tradition of untouchability, right? The people from the Dalits are not allowed to use the drinking water or the common drinking places. Even they are not allowed in the social function or even not allowed in the villages, right? This needs to be stopped. In accordance with this, the practice of untouchability was banned by law. Untouchability was removed by the 17th paragraph of the Constitution. As we all know, due to the introduction of Constitution, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar tries to bring equalness in the society. Untouchability was removed by the 17th paragraph of the Constitution, and this class was included in the scheduled caste. In view of the educational and social backwardness of this caste, they were given reservation in education as well as jobs to facilitate their development. So in this way, jobs, education, facilities provided to those people who are neglected in the past. Scheduled tribes are these kind of arrangement done to those people who are living in the remote areas, or basically the Adivasis. They don't have any proper medical facility, proper transportation, not having the proper education. Just like the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes or Adivasis who live in remote part of the country also face several difficulties. As they had lived far away from the progress in modern times, they are economically and socially backward. They even don't have the facilities of proper drinking water or even the transport, even though their conditions have some improvement in recent times. Now the situation has been improved. Modern farming implements have not yet reached them. They did not even have the proper modern equipment for the farming, or even they didn't have the proper facilities for the education, transportation, or none of the welfare facilities. Even since they are living at the remote areas, the lands are not so much very much agricultural land, or the lands are not fertile. Even they don't have the modern equipments, they are following the old and traditional equipments for the farming. Besides, their fields are on the hillsides, are not fertile. Their income from agriculture is very small. They are malnourished. What is malnourished? We had learned this. Malnourished means the deficiency of nourishment or the nutrition, we learned in science. So the government are trying to provide them a proper nourishment. They are malnourished due to insufficient and poor quality of diet. Adivasis in remote areas find it difficult to get medical attention in time. Even the Adivasis won't able to get the proper medical attention. For all this reason, there is a need to give special protection to Adivasi. Basically, the people who remote in the hillsides or the hilly areas or the remote areas. So in the constitution, in our Indian constitution, Adivasis has been enumerated as scheduled tribe. So Adivasis are called as the scheduled tribes. They are getting given representation in law boards, education, government services, etc. So government given the facility, so they should get the support in the education, in the different functions of the government, job, politics, etc. Next is nomadic and denotified tribe. What do you mean by nomadic and denotified tribe? Nomadic means the people who are moving from one place to another in search of job, in search of food. Basically, they rear the cattle. And when we say the denotified tribes are those tribes who are neglected, or those who are considered as the criminals during the Britishers. So now they are also the important members or the part of our society. Caste and tribes that have moved from place to place for a livelihood, in search of job, in search of food, are included under the nomadic tribes. They live by rearing animal and engaging in some other occupation. So they are depend upon the rearing of animal, their occupation based on rearing of animals. The British has declared some of them as criminal type. During that time, Britishers declared some of the tribes as the criminal tribes, and they are not allowed to move from different places. In the law of 1871 to curb crimes, as per Britishers, they are the criminals, and to curb the crime, curb means to stop the crime, their movement has been restricted. In the law of 1871 to curb crime, some of the main groups were mentioned as criminal tribes, and their occupation and movements were banned. This unjust law was repealed in the post-independence period. So this kind of injustice has been repealed, has been changed or stopped, and the curbs on these tribes were lifted. And what are the restrictions done on these tribes has been lifted, had been removed. They were included under the denotified tribe, and government made a different list where these tribes has been mentioned. Special efforts are made by the government for the purpose of the social and economic development. These tribes have given representation in educational institutions and the government sector. Okay, they have also given the opportunity in different governmental functions. Next is minorities. What are minorities? Those who are less in number, they are called as minor, right? because they are less in number. So many times it's happened in society, those who are less in number, they are not treated properly. But in our country, as per the constitution, majority and minority won't affect. Even the people who belongs to the minority, they are given the equal status or equal opportunity in the society. Okay. In any society, a group of people of a particular religion, language, or race who are in few in number are termed as minority. As there are various religions, sections, and languages in our country, we see great cultural diversity. In our country, we have different religion. For example, not I'm not against any cultural community. Just an example, you see the Parsis in our country, they are very less in number, but they are also getting the equal opportunity. Parsis are considered a minority, but again, they are getting equal opportunity or equal freedom in our nation because they are equal part of the society. There is a variation in cultural traditions too. In order to preserve their culture, tradition, and develop their own language, the constitution gives the citizens certain educational and cultural rights. Minorities have the right to protect and conserve their language, culture, and tradition. For this purpose, they have the right to set up separate educational institutions. The government implements various schemes for their progress. Government also trying to bring so many schemes and tries to bring the improvement or the progress in the life of the people that belongs to the different societies and different sections. Understood? Clear the chapter? So we learned that maybe the women, maybe the people who belongs to different categories or classes, they all should have the equal opportunity in the society as per the constitution or as per the law. Let's have the exercise. First blank. In 1992, a movement against drinking alcohol was started in Andhra Pradesh. Remember, anti-liquor movement. Next, in 1975, the government of India formed the Committee on the Status of Women under the chairmanship of Dr. Phul Renu Guha. The correct answer is A, Dr. Phul Renu Guha. Now, identify the wrong pair and rewrite the correct ones. We had given Saudmi Rao, Stri Mukti Andolan Samiti. It's correct answer. It's correct pair. Vidya Bal, Nari Manch, Samta Manch. It is also correct pair. Pramila Dandavate, Mahila Dakshita Samiti. It is also the correct pair. So the wrong one is fourth, Jyoti Mapsekar. Women's Commission, no. It's Mulgi Zalio, remember? And Prerag Lalkari. Clear? Now we had to make a concept chart of laws related to women. So everyone make a concept chart. What are the different laws has been introduced for that related with the women's? Make a list of it. Okay. Next we have the explain the concept of alimony and minority. We all know what is alimony and minority. Minority we have on the same page. Alimony we have on the page number 34. Right. Now explain the following statements with the reason. The women's liberation movements began. Why the women's liberation movement begins? To get the equal status for the women in the society, equal opportunity, maybe the job, politics, or even in the family also. The Prohibition of Dowry Act was enacted in 1984. Seeing the situation, the conditions of the woman, the deaths of the woman, the Dowry Prohibition Act has been introduced. The practice of untouchability was banned by law. Yes, that creates inequality in the society. That's why it has been banned. The constitution gives cultural and educational rights to minorities. Yes, minority are also the part of society, that they should also get an equal opportunity in the society. Next, describe the Chipko movement. We have a whole paragraph of the Chipko movement. We learned about it. What is Chipko movement? Write a note on the Protection of Human Rights Acts. On the page number 34, we have the Protection of Human Rights Acts, right? So in this way, we had learned about the chapter. We understood about the chapter. Please go through the entire chapter, read the chapter twice, watch this video. Any doubt, any confusion, please mark it. And when we meet, when we have a discussion, we will solve your doubts. Okay? Understood the topic? Please do your regular studies. Thank you. Thank you so much.